Hey DIY doers, I'm Belle and welcome to my workshop. In today's video I will be unboxing the Holtz glass media mat. Okay, so before we begin, I got this from craftonline.com.au. They're really cool. I have gotten heaps of bargains from them. So let's just open. I've been really looking for a glass craft mat for cutting the box quite a while. They are on the expensive side, I must admit. There we go. Alright, let's put my tool away so I don't cut myself. And let's open. Oh, that's right. I ordered some blending tools too. I forgot about these. That's a nice surprise, isn't it? Oh, look at them. I do like, how they come in their own little... Well, that's very nice. Huh. I did that, must admit, I thought they were a little bit smaller, like the finger ones for position, but anyway, okay, cool. I did forget about that. Okay, it's in its own box. Let's put that to the side. So that's the mat that I have been using. It's just a regular quilting cutting mat. It's been okay, but it's very hard to clean. Actually, might just use some scissors, quick snippage. Oh. So this is just the mat. There is tools that you can buy that go with the mat. One is like a square ruler with a cutting edge and a drawing edge. I didn't really worry about getting that. And it also, I'm just gonna okay. It's decently heavy. So That's always a good sign. Okay, more sticky tape. And the other tool is like a scraper tool to help scrape the mat to get off glue and other substrates. Oh, there it is. They packaged it well. Yet another box. A box inside a box inside a box. And like my counter is actually not that wide. So I think this mat that I've been using is a little bit too big. Like too thick wise. Oh, look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, so pretty. And I really liked it because it was black. My whole craft room is black and white. I add the color in my crafts. All right. So, can we open it up? Sorry, you can't see anything, but this it's quite tall. There we go. I'm guessing these were just for transit. I might keep them though, just in case I have to pack it away. All right, and there we have the mat. So it's as long as my old working area, but it's just a little bit shorter, which I think will work out a lot better. Okay, so we have the mat, obviously, and we also have this other media mat, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. Okay, so I just moved the other craft mat that I had away, so we can have this, the star of the show. Okay, so first things first. The mat is made of tempered glass. The grid portion is like the assembly area, and then this is the messy area. So the grid itself is printed underneath the glass, so you won't be able to scratch it off over time, which is really, really nice. You'll notice everything is actually underneath the glass, nothing is on top, so it'll always look like this. Underneath there's little rubber feet, which is really nice. I may try and put some like a magnet backing. That's the only thing I wish this had, was magnet backing. Yeah, so I might just get like a magnet sheet, because it does have that feet, so it is lifted off your countertop, benchtop, whatever you use. One thing that's really, really nice is you have inches and centimeter markings. So many tools with quilting and crafting and everything, it just has inches, and I'm Australian, I don't work in inches. I can't gauge what an inch is. So yeah, centimeters is really, really nice. So the whole mat from here to here is approximately 58 centimeters, or they said 23 inches, and it is 35 centimeters high, or 14 inches. The working area, so this is the assembly area, is 30 centimeters by 35 centimeters. So you can fit a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper on here. So that's really nice for scrapbooking and stuff. That wasn't paper, that was vinyl, but that's the first thing I grabbed. It was the size that I wanted. And I really like how the working area is black. I find looking at screens and everything all day, black helps the soreness of my eyes, if that makes any sense. And the stoppers underneath actually create a barrier as well, because the mat is raised. I do find that when I'm working, I get like a whole heap of tools. Say we've got all these tools, right? Instead of them creeping onto this mat, I'm hoping that they stay off the mat, and I'll just grab them and keep this as my work area instead of cluttering it up. The other mat of mine was not as high, and I think, yeah, it just, I wound up like working in like a little area like this with all my junk around. So I'm hoping that alleviates the problem, and yeah, I have a nice work area. Hopefully I can keep this clean and just have this my messy area, so I don't get random ink spots and colours and things on my actual finished project. All that will stay over this side. So each of one of these squares is technically an inch, but it's also 2.5 centimeters to measure things when you need to. So we've got 0 to 35 up here, and then we got 0 to almost 40 down here. Then you might notice these big bold lines in the middle, and they've got like a kind of intersection. These lines are for centering. So if you had a piece of paper, let me get a piece of paper. Okay, so if you had a piece of paper and you wanted to know the dead center, you could line it up, and it needs to go down a little bit, and then you could see the dead center there and the dead center across there too. So it does make it easy. So the measurements for these, the 0 is on this line, this big fat line, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going all the way out, and the same on this side. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and all the way down as well. So that's kind of useful. So with this being tempered glass, it is scratch resistant, so you can use your craft cutting knives on it and you won't get any scratches. However, if you use like a professional scalpel or even some Stanley knives, they can penetrate and make a groove in the glass. So craft knives, okay, just be careful with other knives. So gluing, you can glue straight onto this. Hot glue, glue gun, and you have like little drippy bits, you can just peel them away. Because it is glass, it's not sticky. Ink blending on glass is so much better because there's no resistance. You get resistance with normal other crafting mats, and you find a build up along the edge of the paper where you're bringing the ink into it. So I'm really excited to experience inking on here. Okay, so moving over to our messy zone. Cleanup, super easy. You can get a wipe it off. I've even got microfiber cloths. Just wipe it away. Oh, look how shiny it gets. And yeah, you're pretty much done. So this white is to see the colors of your ink better. It gives you a true, accurate representation of what your ink color is actually going to look like on your paper. And because it's white and because the print is actually underneath the glass, it kind of gives you like this halo effect, like the ink is actually illuminated. I'll go to my ink stash and I'll get a couple inks. Okay, so I got a couple inks. And you'll notice that these are actually the exact size of these squares, which is really cool. So you can put a whole heap of ink on here and just keep them in those squares and keep organized. Now that doesn't mean you can't use your bigger ink pads. That just means they'll take up a couple more squares, yeah? Okay, so if we let's put a couple of these inks on here. Might need to re-ink these a little bit. Right, now you can see how like the color just pops. It looks really cool. Now because it's glass, you can of course put your inks on, but you can also put your pens. So you can just draw on here and like the ink stays on there and it doesn't dry. Well, it will dry eventually, but it takes a while to dry. And then you can actually just pick up that ink and put it on your drawing. You can also spritz with some water. Okay, so you can also spritz with a little bit of water I had to fill my water up actually. And then use your paintbrush, lift up all that colour and start creating some watercolour. So obviously the more you put down, the more you can see. And that's the thing with inks. You've got to learn how much ink you need for your project, because some inks are very vibrant and others are very light, and you have to apply a lot more to get the added effect. But you get, you know, that's awesome. Like, I love watercolor and to do it that easily. And same with blending, you know, if you want to blend, you can blend on here, get the desired color you want, and then apply it to your project, and you won't waste that project. So that's really cool. And it just wipes up, and all that ink is gone. I should have these off my board, but it's going to be a process. Now, it's not only inks, but you can also use paint. Like, you know, why not? Dabby there. Dabby there. So you've got your two main colours. And then you can come in, take it off, put it down, come in, take more, and then create a beautiful colour. It's like the sunset. That's amazing. I love that. And there we go. But look at that. And nothing's going to affect this board, which is amazing. It's really great. And you can like wipe up some excess. Give it some highlights. But look at that. I really love that. I want to do some sunset thing now. And then once we're done, I did put a lot of paint on here actually. Probably a little bit too much, but it is okay. And it just wipes up as good as new. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is this mat. I don't really know how much I'm going to use this. That won't come off. So this has a silicone backing, and it is designed to stick onto the mat, and then it's just like a different texture. It's just a different surface than using the glass. You can ink on this. One thing though, do not use alcohol inks because they will stain. Like it is a material, so it's kind of fibrous, and they will get into the fibers of this and just stain it. But you don't have to put it there. You might be working there. It could be a good idea to hold paper into place so it doesn't wriggle around on the board, so that's an idea. I just don't know how much I'll use it. I might, it's some of those things where you just need to make yourself use it and to experience it and what it has to offer, and then you actually, it does come through into your daily life and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I might just have to use it and see what I can use it in my workflow, see how it helps me. So this mat is great. I've been paranoid because I built my new crafting workbench, and I thought, you know, at the time, white would be cool. It's got like this marble look to it, I guess. And I thought it was really, really pretty. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get that worktop. It's actually a countertop from IKEA. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get that. And ever since, I've been absolutely paranoid that I'm going to stain it. So yeah, with the media glass mat, it's really nice. I've been looking at glass mats for a while just because they do help with crafting. I had a cutting mat for ages. I think it was an old sewing cutting mat that I used, but it was big and I really liked it. But then, you know, it started getting stains and things would rub off on it, and then when I put fabric down, stains would go onto the fabric, and I was just like, ew. But yeah, now I've got like a glass mat where I can do all my inking and messy crafts and all that, and stamping and whatever, and not, hopefully, wreck my countertop. So the one big takeaway, the silicone mat, I didn't really use that much. It kind of just sat in the drawer, but maybe down the track I'll use it more. But I'm really happy. I love the look of it. I love, like, my whole craft room is black and white. And I then say to myself, I've got to make the colour in whatever I'm crafting. So I just love black and white. I just find it elegant looking to me. So yeah, with this mat, with being black, I was just like, oh, that's nice. But I do like the white where you put your dyes, which is really good. Yeah, and it's really easy to clean. Everything just wiped off so easy. It was great. Well, I hope you had fun DIYing with me today. I have heaps of hobbies and I love connecting with others that have the same interests. If you crafted along with me today, please share on Instagram or Facebook and tag me. I would love to see what you made. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a craftastic day.